All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of biscuit and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorn. This is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's time to step into the Colts Corner again as we discuss the offseason moves of the organization. This week, we'll give our take on the top position needs. So, let's go All In Colts.
That's correct. I'm Kevin. There he is. That's my son, Liam. We're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yeah, sorry, I just had like a cough thing. We have a quick update from the
So,
South.
Yeah, I don't have a graphic for it.
It's fine. The Titans have found their new general manager in former Chiefs assistant GM, Mike Borgonzi. He goes from going for a three-peat to controlling the draft, holding the number 1 pick.
Yeah, kind of a crazy turn of events for him, but, you know, an enviable position for many people.
For sure.
So, as we discussed a couple weeks ago, do the Titans have a decision? Do they stay with Will Levis and try to gain draft position and or trade out to get, like, you know, I'm thinking like the Bears traded DJ Moore, and so or other way around, traded for DJ Moore to build around and different things like that. So different ways to go about having the number 1 pick, depending on really whether you have your QB or not. And that's what they need to decide, if Will Levis has continued to be that guy just because he's got a cannon for an arm and a face of memes.
Yes.
And may your quarterback always be Mimi. So, as mentioned, we are going to discuss the positions of need for the Colts in this off season. So
whether it be draft or free agency, right?
Yes,
or are we sticking to one?
No, so this is okay, because in general managing, the first step is to evaluate your team and where your team is lacking and what positions you need to fill, either starters or backfill, where your depth needs to be, what you feel like the makeup of your team is weakest, and what you need to fill. The available free agents, the available draft picks, draftees should not factor into this decision. Is solely based on looking at your current team and where you are lacking, where you need to fill in. Does that make sense? Yep. So this should have no bearing, like the players available in any way should have no bearing on this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Current team, where are the Colts lacking? You don't have to have this in any kind of order. We'll do that later. Shotgun. Give me all of them. Like any kind of order you want.
Okay.
And this can be
reality.
This can be, this can be like, we need a new starting running back, or maybe this can be, we need a good running back too, that you don't feel what the Colts currently have in that position is it. Does that make sense? You can kind of name where they would fall based on what you think you have.
Yes. In all reality, every football team could use someone at every single position to backfill to start something. So in all reality, all positions are needs at all times. It just depends on contracting and stuff like that, which I'm assuming we'll get into a little bit later.
Yep.
So my top needs as of right now are a running back, not in front of Jonathan Taylor, behind Jonathan.
So RB2.
And RB2. I don't believe Sermon is the guy, but I like Goodson. And then I think See, I'm hesitant on the wide receiver because we got a lot of young guys.
Speaking of RB2, forget which team, but there was a team that picked up Evan Hull on their team. So
Gotcha.
he is no longer a Colt.
Gotcha. I don't think we need a wide receiver necessarily. Maybe a veteran presence. That's all I could think of. I think definitely need a quarterback too. Another veteran. Go out and sign another veteran. I like that the Colts keep signing one-year quarterbacks as backups, and they tend to be pretty solid backups. I mean, Flacco wasn't, the greatest, but he wasn't the worst either. Like, he was capable of getting stuff done. It's better than Ellinger, at least. I honestly think the one position that we don't need anything on is our offensive line. I think it kind of showed through the whole year that we can sub whoever we're in, and we look pretty much the same.
Okay.
Flipping sides of the ball, defensive line I think could use maybe an edge. I feel like we are good on the D tackle. Maybe like a late round draft pick for an edge because it never hurts to have an extra edge. I feel like a D tackle is pretty solid though, especially the backups as well. And then corner, I think we're actually pretty solid at corner right now, especially if we are able to keep everybody up. Everybody starts developing because we have Womack now, we have Kenny, there's Jones, and Brents. There's 4 solid guys, and there are other guys as well. Our linebackers,
so no cornerback,
no corners.
Okay.
Our linebackers, I think we could use another linebacker. I like our guys there. I like the Colts guys there, but I mean,
I'm sorry. You said I like our guys, and I had PTSD.
Oh goodness, Chris Ballard. I like the guys there.
Stop it, Ballard. Okay.
They proved themselves this past season. Tackling has always been a problem, though. Sadly, fix that. And then safety, I think maybe a safety would do, either free or strong. Preferably someone like Cross who can kind of flex to both and is kind of good at both, but plays more of a free safety role, so Cross can play that strong safety.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right.
I think maybe backup kicker, maybe to kind of
always kicker competition.
Yes, kicker competition. Because we saw Gay wasn't it. Maybe someone will actually change.
Yeah,
that.
he came in kind of strong at the end.
Yes, he has one more year on his deal for the 3 years. $33 million, 11 a year. That's crazy for a kicker. But he still has another year to try and prove himself, whether he's on the Colts again or just another team. So, but that's where my things lie. I kind of ran through every single position and just how I felt about it.
You said everybody need every single position, and then you immediately crossed off the second one you said. But it's fine. It's okay. You did go through every single one. I'm okay with you. I'm agree with you somewhere here, but not in other places. Okay. Let me go through yours.
It's why it's a dual podcast. We can disagree on stuff.
Right. Exactly. So, okay. Totally agree on the running back, the RB2/3, however they want to shake that down.
Yeah.
You mentioned one of these, some of these you mentioned where you think it should come from.
I forgot a position. I completely forgot a position. Tight end.
Yep.
We need a tight end.
Oh. Okay. A tight end?
A tight end, 2, something like that.
1 tight end?
I'm fine with 2.
Are you looking for a tight end 1? Are you looking for a tight end 2? You're looking for a tight end 1.
I'm looking for a tight end 1, but something similar to the Ravens, to the Bills, with a tight end 1/2.
You want a tight end 1 and a tight end 2?
Yes.
Or do you think
a good solid one that you trust a lot, and then another one that is not as good, that has separation, but is still dangerous?
Okay. Then the question is, are you looking for a tight end 1 and 2, or are you looking for a tight end 1 that you think you already have tight end 2?
I'm looking for a 1 and 2.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good. I slotted that in right before the O-line. Okay.
Perfect.
So here we go. RB2, totally agree with you. I will once again, this we're not talking anything about what might be available and how that's dictating any of these discussions. This is simply
Which makes
what we
this
have.
kind of hard to do, but
No,
it's fine.
it doesn't.
It does. For me, it does. Knowing what's
Yes,
out there, I'm like,
yes, we love because we've it's a natural progression to talk about. We need this, and here's who's available. We do our homework. We already have worked ahead a bit. We know what's out there. You probably, if you're watching, know maybe what's out there too. But you have to come back and see what we think on that. If you know who you want at any of these positions, drop them in the comments. That's fine.
yeah. Or if you want to try and guess who we want.
Right. Yes. Guess.
Play a little game.
You've already told people where you think your QB2 is coming from.
Yes.
You say we don't need a wide receiver. I say why not? Why not?
That's fair.
I mean, because like you got three wide receivers. Your top guys on rookie
deals. Yeah.
So like and you just signed a guy, your vet, but even that was 70 something over 3 years. It's not a top deal by any stretch of the imagination. And he only has one more year guaranteed that is not an opt-out on his contract. So like you mentioned, contract ties into this. Yes, we will bring it up. I will always bring it up because it is such an important part of how your roster is constructed. Which is why most of the roster is constructed for the end of Anthony Richardson's rookie deal, because of what that all means if he can prove himself successful, which is still very up in the air right now, which is why you are looking for a QB2. And I also am looking for a QB2 because we already mentioned that the QB2 is definitely not coming back, according to us. There are some people out there that I've seen that say Flacco should come back.
I don't see a reason. He didn't show me a reason.
He showed me a reason not to bring him back. That's what he showed me. So, but as mentioned, I mentioned that I think we will really see how what's the word I'm looking for? How plugged in, how tuned in, how committed. There we go. Committed Ballard is to his. I am not running it back. I do not like my guys just because they're my guys. Stance and how he needs to shake things up based on one person, and that is Sam Ehlinger. Because we talked about Mr. August does not win you any games post-August. And so if Sam Ehlinger is still around and you give him any kind of deal, that speaks volumes as to what you really believe.
And also, to be Mr. August, that means you got to play a lot in the preseason, which means you don't get the starting job.
Yep.
So why is he around?
It's a good question.
You want a quarterback that you know is going to be a really solid quarterback too, and they know they're going to be a quarterback too, or they're fighting for the starting job. Sam Ehlinger is sadly fighting for a starting job because he is a younger quarterback in the NFL. So he still thinks that he can, get something done, but he's only getting stuff done in August. That only gets you so far.
I don't see it. Like I said, I think there's only two reasons he stays around, and that's one, Ballard is not a man of his word, or two, Anthony Richardson fought for him to be around because of the impact that Sam had when Anthony got benched.
Yeah.
There is something to be said for a locker room guy. Totally get it. And if you don't think that Jason Bean is ready to be anything but a practice squad guy, then that's what you have to do. And maybe you keep Sam as QB3, but he's not QB2. He's not. So you're looking for another QB2. There are guys out there.
Yes.
That's all I'll say.
Yes.
There are guys out there.
There are.
In many different ways that they can come.
Indeed.
Young or old. Old or
Or
young.
middle. Or middle.
Or middle. Lots of different options that may be
Lots
out
of
there.
guys.
I believe also you are definitely looking for tight end 1. And tight end 2 is really nice. Does that make sense?
So not needed, but nice.
I'm not as committed to the tight end 2. But if there is a tight end 1 and tight end 2 brought in, I think that is another ding. Ballard is on the right track. Does that make sense?
I like it.
That's another like Ballard got it, right? If all that's brought in is 1 tight end, that means Ballard trusts Ogletree, believes that Jelani Woods can stay healthy and be the guy that we think could be. But at this point, who really knows? And maybe Mo is still a guy. But Kylan, maybe I can't even. Now it gets too convoluted, and one of the areas that even Ballard has said that they had struggled is finding a guy at tight end. There are guys available in many different ways that you can get them. Old and young and middle, as you mentioned.
Yes.
I agree with you on the O-line. You took care of the O-line. You got enough people coming back, especially if you must sign Will Fries back. And I believe even Wesley French, because why wouldn't you want to keep French fries around? Everybody loves French fries. So, but then with, the amount that Bordellini and Gonsalves played this year, you got, I think this is, so you got 2 more years on Bernie's rookie contract before you got to sign him to a big left tackle deal. So, because he came in at the same time as, is that right? No, maybe he came in. Maybe you only have 1 more year on Bernie's deal. I'm not sure on that one. But regardless, you still have a rookie left tackle that is really good on his rookie contract. So that's good. Edge, that edge room is too full. If anything, you got to get rid of, especially when you just drafted number 1 overall, best rusher in the draft, according to Ballard, even though some people are laughing at that because of the emergence of Jared Verse, but I refer you back to the snap counts. So I believe edge is not as necessary as you say, but I do believe, conversely from you, defensive tackle should be. And you got some older guys in there. I'll say that.
Yeah.
There you go. You got some older guys. So, yeah. Cornerback, why not? Once again, it's like wide receiver. Why not?
It's literally wide receiver on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, it's why not? And if nothing else, bring him for competition and cut him. If load it up. Force yourself to make terrible decisions at the end of on roster cut day, because you have the cream of the crop, because you brought in the whole crop, not just
you do not need 10 defensive linemen.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
Huh.
No.
Interesting. We believe in our guys. So we like our guys. So
No.
Cornerback, yes, and I
Stop
will
looking.
I will say this. Just like I said, defensive tackle. You got some old guys at defensive tackle. Your cornerback room
It's young.
is pretty young.
I got one guy on the top of my mind right now. I know. I'm not, but I have someone.
I think we're getting into that next week. So
Okay.
it's not too
Cool.
far away, but you got to come back. Okay, so what else did you come up with? Linebacker, yes, absolutely, especially if you do what we said, which is don't bring back speed, even though it's a tough decision. I also want to say this. Like, we talk about the defense, but so much is unknown about the defense right now, simply because there are just still 5 candidates for the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
So
we're strictly talking about talent, and that is it.
We're simply talking about who the Colts have, and in light of what contracts are up and what contracts rookie, where they are on their deals and things like that. We don't know what the scheme's going to be and what they want. If they're going to go to 3-4, yeah, you need a lot more linebackers. You kidding me? Like, you need linebackers, ton of them.
Yeah.
If you're sticking with a 4-3, maybe you don't. If you are going to a 3-4, maybe you don't need as much defensive tackle, but maybe you need to change defensive tackle and type, because you're going with nose tackle instead. And Buck is not a nose tackle. All of a sudden, Buck is a, edge-ish kind of, and you're switching guys around. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
we say this all, hold the defense loosely based on where the Colts end up with that.
Yes. Where are you at with safeties?
Yeah, especially with the Trevor Denbo thing. You said no. I kind of say yes back to that, simply because the special teams aspect. Some of this it obviously depends on what you decide to do with Julian Blackman. There are a lot of people available. Some people you don't know if they are quite available. Some of those people are still playing football. Like, they have one more game to play football, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. Two guys.
There may be a relative of a person that is currently associated with the Colts organization.
You pretty much just said who it was.
No. I'm just saying there are people available.
Yep.
Old and young that fit this safety description. And once again, much of this depends on the defensive coordinator position.
So. What he wants, what he likes, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to rank these, or should we tease that even more?
Do you think we can bust it out quick?
Do you want to bust it out quick?
Let's bust it out pretty quick. I think I get it.
Quick.
Okay. I'll do top 5.
Yes, let's just do top 5. Give me your top 5. You going 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
I'll go 5. Actually, I'm gonna go 1 to 5. Start off.
That's what I would do too. Okay, go 1 to 5. Number 1.
I think we are
not based on who's out there.
I know we're this close to being an elite offense. We need a tight end to become an elite offense.
You need a tight end. Tight end 1. Okay, yes, I say you got to break it down. You need a tight end 1. That makes sense. Okay,
you need a tight end 1. Number 2, safety.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see what I have. Okay. Yeah. Number 3, running back 2.
Okay.
Number 4.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but people don't know. I'm laughing. I'm okay. Fill people in because they don't know I'm laughing. I'm laughing because of some mock drafts that are out there. Okay.
Oh yeah. I realize
I'm going. Go look up Colts mock drafts
I'm going exactly in that order, but
I'm
not really meaning to. Number 4, I'm gonna change things up.
Guess where Liam's coming from.
I'm gonna change things up. Number 4, tight end 2.
Oh,
2
okay.
tight ends in the top 5. I think tight end is a necessity.
Wow. Okay.
Number 5,
linebacker.
linebacker.
Okay. All right.
So edge is important, but not that important.
I hear you. I hear you. See, I don't think it's important at all. Look, get rid of some guys. Okay. I am going to agree with you, tight end 1.
I like it.
I am going to.
Actually, hold on. I completely forgot about something. Number 5 is not linebacker. Sorry. Because EJ Speed's up, you can still keep EJ Speed with contracts and stuff. I believe 5 is a QB2. I think EJ Speed is more of a keep than Joe Flacco is a keep. So QB2 is more.
Okay. I would agree with you. I don't know if either one of them.
I don't think either one of them are a keep like we talked about, but
I think EJ is too much of a liability for the cost.
If you had to keep one, though, I'm saying Speed is better to keep than Flacco.
I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you.
I see where you're coming from, though.
I agree with you, but I don't know if either one of them is needed. Okay, right. I'm gonna agree with you. Tight end 1, number 1, number 2, RB2.
Okay.
And that's all I'll tell you. You have to come back for the reason why, but I'm not going to give it to you because this is simply based on what you need.
Okay.
Number 3, QB2.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it.
You have a quarterback that has not even played or just now played a full season after 2 seasons. It's a liability. You gotta figure that out in one way or the other. Number 4, I'll put as safety, and I am going to put linebacker at number 5.
Okay.
Once again, holding those last 2 loosely because of the system and who might be there. So, any last closing thoughts? We did bust it out. We didn't tease you to come back to get our rankings. So now we have successfully teased you that you must come back to find our reasoning on where these positions might come from. Because our next Colts Corner will be...
Is it free agents?
We are looking at veteran free agents available.
So
these positions will factor into that. But we are not going to hold ourselves to these 5, but we will, focus on more of these.
Indeed.
It's really just, it's 6 positions because we have 7. I have linebacker and you don't.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is 6 because I have linebacker and you don't, but you have tight end twice.
Yes. No, I have linebacker.
Nope, you took it out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You swapped it out.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Well, that's all that we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow with our recap of the Rams, Eagles, and Ravens Bills games. And then later this week, we will make our predictions of the conference championship games in the Unstable Pick 2. And we will finish off the week with an in-depth preview of each of those games.
Yep. This is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.